Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today, April 4th, 2021, at approximately 6:37 a.m. PST. We've covered a lot of ground and repeated ourselves an awful lot. Okay, but we're going to do that again anyway. In case you're just joining us, we'd appreciate a thumbs up on the video. Absolutely subscribe to the channel so that you can get the rest of the videos. There's a lot of information that's coming out. Thanks very much to the people that encouraged me to get started on this, because on March 6th of 2021, I started doing a daily video, that I've titled The Journey, which basically shows explains how I got from where I was to where I am, and how you too can do exactly the same thing. Regardless of where you come from, of what you've been through in life, regardless of your age, your history, all of it, doesn't matter. You have one thing in common with everybody else. You are right where you are today. The fact that you're listening to my video says you're still looking for something. Okay, now, there's a lot of differences in people. A lot of differences. And there's a lot of similarities. The reality of it, from what I've come to understand over the years, is that when we follow karmic law, be true to yourself, do unto others as you desire them to do unto you, energy out, energy in. When we follow karmic law, this world, because everybody, and that includes all peoples, all animals, all plants, all minerals, when we all work together, we can turn this world into the paradise it can be. Now, there's a lot of things I'm not, but we're going to focus on what I am. I came from a complicated past like most of you, but I came to the understanding that where I am right now is the only time that matters. The past tells you how you got to where you are, and most of us, myself included, don't entirely understand it. The future is what we're aiming for, but it is not written. You make the future what you desire. And the way to make the future what you desire is to take a look at the present and identify one little detail. What are you not content with? Now, much as that sounds like a negative, once you understand what you're not content with, when you eliminate all of those things, when you alter them all to the point that you're only content with what you've got the perfect future you were seeking. Now, the things you change will change over time. Okay, I'm not here to tell you who you should follow, who you shouldn't. The tools I'm offering are the ones that I personally have used. Now, if you look back at the past videos, you'll find a number of things. Number one, some of the mess that I went through personally. Number two, you'll find out why I've gone down the road I'm going down, and that'll continue to evolve anyway. One of the important factors, well, realistically, from my standpoint, they're all important. But if you look at some of my other videos that are titled Language, there are a number of words that have been identified, that I have identified in the spoken language, spoken being communication of any form, that are directly self-limiting. Things like the word can't, the word if, and the word try. Now I've done videos on many of these words, but I know there's a few I haven't gotten to, which I will get back to and get the videos done. Now, that said, subscribe to our channel like we said. At the bottom of the videos, at the bottom of every video, you'll find a list of different publications that I've put together that you can purchase directly from me only at this point. They cover a lot of what I'm talking about, in simple form. Okay, but in very easily repeatable form. You'll also find at the bottom of the video a list of contact points for me. Okay, reach out to me if you've got questions. If things don't quite add up, reach out. Okay, I will do my best to respond. Now, that said, okay, a couple of things that they makes. Try English, shall we? These are live videos, by the way, which means I do not go back over them and edit them at all. Okay, I simply record. What you see is what you get. If you ever do actually meet me, you'll find them the same way. Okay, the one thing I guarantee with people is I will not lie to you to make you feel better unless you ask me to. Now, I've got to put that back up. Over on that wall sits a sign that says, I am worth it. Take those 4 words, write them on a sheet of paper, put them on your fridge. Okay, by putting them on your fridge, you'll have ready access to them. They are the 4 most powerful words that I've personally come across this lifetime to help deal with low self-esteem, low self-motivation. Okay, put them on your fridge. That way you can see them. Now, the other thing is, up on this wall, I've got 2 signs. The first one says I have legally attained a minimum of $2,000 by April 30th at 1 minute to midnight. Now that $2,000 is what it cost me to run my home. Okay. Also up there I have legally my Inner Voice Enterprises, which is the name of my home-based kind of business. Inner Voice Enterprise has legally generated a minimum of $200 by April 30th, 2021 at 1 minute to midnight. Now that $200 is 10% of the cost of what it takes for me to run my home. That number, by the way, was based on local tax laws. So whatever country you're in, check with your own tax people to find out what the numbers are that you've got to work with. Okay. Now that we got the ground level set, and I gotta find a way to get that sorted around so it's a little smoother, but what the heck? One step at a time. This funny little thing here, it's a notebook. You'll see, I don't expect you to read it. Okay, but you'll notice there's a bunch of things written on it. What this is a list of the different projects that I've got to do today. And that's where you start. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Okay, well, I guess where you started was getting those 3 signs done up. Okay, but once you've got them up, then you start with this. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're sitting right now, it doesn't matter. Okay, take a pad of paper or a cell phone or whatever recording device you need, or whichever one you require, not need. Whichever device you choose to utilize. Obviously, blind people are not going to be using a written work because, well, frankly, they got this funny little problem that unless they write in Braille, they're not going to be able to see it. But use whatever recording device you desire. Okay. Now, you take that and you write down the first 3 things that you can think of right off the top of your head, because this is where you start. Right while you're sitting, right wherever you are, write down the first 3 things that you can see or that you can think of that you desire to change. Okay, now in my case, if you go back over the last few videos, there used to be a brown shelf over here that was full of junk. It's gone. Okay, this table used to be full of junk. A lot of clutter and what have you. The stuff on it right now is the little figures that I personally paint. They're one of my pastimes. Okay. I'd love to know what that is, but welcome to my world. Like I said, I don't bother editing any of this. Now, from your standpoint, once you've got those words down, those jobs down, do yourself a favor. keep them down to 15 minutes to half an hour. The reason for that is it's easier to get them out of the way and help yourself feel like you've got something accomplished. Whatever your belief structure, okay, whatever religion you come from, and we'll be dealing with that a little later today as well, doesn't matter. These are tools that are universally applicable. I've been using them my whole life. Okay, in all fairness, not all of them, because I've been adding to them as my repertoire grows. Okay, now the first rule of thumb is you're the only person on the planet, or in existence in all fairness, that can be successful for you. Now, what is success? I'm the last person to tell you what success is for you. I can tell you what success is for me. When I started this journey, my idea of success was simple. Get myself debt-free, get myself to a point where I wasn't worried about my bills, where I wasn't worried about food. Okay, where I had, and from there I desired to renovate my belongings, get rid of the old junk, bring in up-to-date stuff, not necessarily state-of-the-art, but new anyway, new for me. Okay, now to that end, the tools that I'm using that I've been conveying to you are the same ones that have got me debt-free. They've got me when my bills come in, I go, oh, well, let's pay that bill instead of, oh no, I've got a bill. I'll have to postpone that because I really want to pay my rent. And I've got about 3, maybe 4 months of food in my pantry and in the freezer. Already there. I don't have to worry about it. If I all of a sudden lose my house and lose my income tomorrow, I have enough to last a few months without any problem. And I'm only just getting started. Think of what happens when you remove that kind of stress. I'll tell you, it hasn't done a thing for my sleep pattern. I still only sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. But that's not a bad thing. Now, people have told me all my life, you need 8 hours of sleep. Well, no, you don't. You may require it, but you certainly don't need it. There's a video that explains the difference rather well, I think anyway. But what I did discover was if you take the 8-hour baseline that most people talk about requiring, okay, if you, without losing your health or your quality of life, if you cut that to 4 hours a night, you gain about a month and a half living time. Now, what that has done for me, okay, is I've turned around and I'm currently in the process of writing at the same time 30 different books in 5 different genres. Okay, plus of course, I've got the painting that I do here. I run a household, I'm raising a child. Okay, so I mean, it's not like my life is not full enough. Now, of course, the reality is I'm a bit of a recluse. I don't leave the house much. I go to the store where I pick up the figures. I go to the grocery store, and I go to one specific restaurant. Other than that, I basically don't leave the house. So, am I a millionaire? Not a snowball's prayer yet. But you'll notice the term yet. Now, to me, money has never mattered a lot. And the way I know this is because I ended up with an inheritance. Sadly, my parents both passed. It happens, and it'll happen to me again one day. But I took that inheritance, and on top of accomplishing what I set out for, which was to get debt-free, to have all the stuff I've already laid out, I managed to help 3 people save their homes, okay? And at the same time, I managed to turn around and invest for my retirement more than 60% of my income. More than 60% of that inheritance is locked away so that when I retire, well, assuming I retire, but when I reach the age of retirement, I've got a stable chunk of money. I don't require a lot. Money has never meant a lot to me, and just to be clear, People have told me that money is the root of all evil. Well, they're wrong. Money is a form of barter. Okay, and the reason I say they're wrong is, well, frankly, from what I've seen. If money were the root of all evil, then it wouldn't be poor people that end up resorting to crime. Or more to the point, it would only be poor people that end up resorting to crime. But it's not. There are a staggering number of people with a lot of money that are doing things like cutting corners on construction costs or on safety protocols. They are stealing money from companies that they work for, or for that matter, from companies they own. Okay, money is not the root of all evil. Money is barter. It's just the old barter system used to use cattle and goats. Well, I don't know about you, but I find it much easier to haul a $10 bill around than a herd of cattle. Okay, that's just the reality behind it. Fear, on the other hand, is another problem, because fear is what causes the other complications. Fear of loss, fear of lack, fear of disrespect, fear of not belonging, you name the list. Okay, just add to it as you go along. There's a lot of them. Okay, so when it comes to looking at where you are, it is imperative that you find a way to quantify your progress. Hence where this list comes in. Okay, now this is not a list that anybody has to follow. It's not, oh, I'm telling you this is what you have to do. The first steps to get you on that track, yes, I will certainly walk you through it. Okay, for me, it really boils down to a lot of things. That was where my goal started. But now my goal is a little bigger. To get the books I've already started writing into print, okay, to get them moving out there, and much more importantly, to get the message out to everybody on the planet. This has been tried before, okay, and there's a lot of people out there going, I'm the one that will show you how. Okay, but the question you have to ask is, are they following what they're telling you? Okay, are they putting themselves above you? I'm not better than anybody. I'm barely good at being myself. Okay, but the tools that I do offer you are the same tools I personally use. Now, in case you couldn't tell by my wardrobe, I'm not exactly a millionaire. We'll take a look at the stuff behind me. I am more at peace now than I have been in my entire life. Okay, I mean, there are things about what's going on with my life that I'm not content with, and I'm working on altering them. Okay, now bear in mind, it did not take you 10 seconds to get into the life you're in. Okay, however old you are, you've spent your entire life getting to this point. Now, how you got here is not half as important as where you go from here. Okay, and yeah, in case you hadn't noticed, see, when the whole COVID thing started, it was cute. Okay, they told me, they told everybody, stay home, stay away from people, and drink warm liquids because it'll help your lungs. Well, that was a cute thought. I liked it. I was reclusive 10 years before COVID hit, so staying home and staying away from people wasn't very hard. And I've got a 30-cup urn of coffee at home. Okay, I'll go through at least one of those today, and probably two. But let's understand something about coffee. People tell you coffee is bad to drink. Everything in excess is bad to drink. The reality of my coffee, is I drink very weak coffee. I don't like the flavor of chlorine, so I add coffee. Most people that have a 12-cup pot of coffee will use 3 or 4 tablespoons of coffee grounds in the coffee, to make that coffee, or they'll get it stronger. Okay, in my case, I take a 30-cup urn, and I use 4 tablespoons in that. Like I said, very weak coffee. Strong enough, I like the flavor far better than caffeine, or far better than bleach or chlorine. So, I drink coffee. Now, that being said, if it was bad for my nerves, okay, when I was a few years ago, my hand, I don't know how well you'll see it, but my hand literally used to shake like this. Okay. Now with this hand, I have to actually concentrate to get it to do that. I couldn't pick up a piece of paper with my right hand. That's how badly damaged the nerves have been. But by working with the tools that I personally work with, okay, by working with those tools, I've managed to get myself to the point that I can now, let's see if I can reach it. I want to get the right one here. Here we go. I take figures like this. Okay. I wonder if I can reach there. I told you it's live. So I take a figure like this. I use toothpicks to paint. For the big areas, I do use a toothbrush. Yes, a paintbrush. But I couldn't do that a few years ago because my hand was shaking. Well, try doing that and try painting this. Like, that's going to work well. The tools that I use have enabled me to cure that problem. Also, my eyes used to be to the point that if I held my glasses right there, I couldn't physically see them. Okay, I now, because of the tools that I've learned and the tools that I'm going to pass on to you, and I'm in the process of passing on to you, I've managed to take my eyes and without an operation, without a change in diet, and rest assured, my diet should be changed. But that's my choice, not because the doctors say so. I ignored what the doctors told me, which is a bad idea, by the way. Always talk to people that have done it successfully. Now, I now have, for reading, I have 20/20 eyesight. Okay. Now, am I telling you doctors are a bad thing? No, doctors are extremely important. Okay, rest assured, when I snapped my arm, I snapped this in my right arm so badly that I had to have it bolted. And I would much rather a trained doctor bolt the arm back into place, plate it back into place to hold it together, than a backyard mechanic. Okay, doctors have a very valuable purpose. Again, if you desire something done and you don't know how to do it yourself, and even if I did know how to do it myself, repairing my own arm would have been a bit of a problem. Okay, talk to people that have successfully done it. Now, am I a millionaire? No. Have I been bankrupt? Twice. Once by what I called creative financing. The other time because of a mistake that somebody else made that I couldn't compensate for. Okay, both of these were guided into bankruptcy by what I call so-called professionals. The reason I went bankrupt was absolutely stupid. Looking back on it, I didn't know better, so I followed what the professionals said. The reality of what the professionals that I dealt with said is they guided me down a path that was absolutely the worst possible thing. Okay, and it set me on a path that was absolutely disastrous for my future. However, that's how I got here. This is why when I talk about you being in a bad way that I can relate to many of the things you go through. Been there, done that. Okay, now understand you're looking to change your world. Okay, if you're not content with the way your world is going, it's up to you to change it. I will happily offer you the tools to make that happen. And yes, I do tend to repeat myself. Mind you, in all fairness, if you've got kids, you know what it's like. You have to repeat yourself regularly to get people to understand. Now, I'm not the best of the best. Okay, there's a lot of things I'm not. But I will be honest, and the tools that I do use with you, that I do offer you, are tools that I personally am actually using. Now, tomorrow, if everything goes well, I'm relying on somebody else for delivery, but I've redesigned my entire office. So between today and tomorrow morning, I have to empty out most of what's in my office right now, so I've got room to work to put the office furniture in. Because when I'm done with it, I will end up in my office with about 20, almost 50 square feet of office desk. Okay, which gives you an idea how much of a renovation I'm doing. but it will open up a lot of room for me. Of course, it also means that my bedroom is going to look like an absolute war zone by the time I'm done today. Because I've got to get this stuff out of here so I got room to put everything else in. Which is okay, I can work with it. There's an old saying that goes, things look worse before they look better. Now, that being said, success. Okay, we're going to wrap that up in a hurry. I'm in the middle of writing another book for that. But the secret of success is 4 P's. You have to have a purpose. You have to have a plan. You have to have persistence, and you have to have patience. Those 4 will put you on the track that you desire to get the things you desire. The tools I've already given you are critical in getting things to happen more easily for you. But it's up to you to use them, because the reality is it does not matter how many tools I give that you're offered. It doesn't matter how many tools you're given. If you don't pick them up and use them, they won't work. Okay, see how well it works for you to turn around and, for you to turn around, like, get the best pencil available. Put it on the paper, put it down on the table beside you. Just take a standard pencil, doesn't matter. Put it on the table beside you. Don't touch it. Now, write something with it. Good luck with that. If you can do that, let me know. I would love to see it. I know of a number of things that almost defy modern belief structures, but I've been through a lot. So, get the idea in your mind. You're the only one on the planet. You're the only one in existence that can co-create the world you desire. For you to be successful is going to take you getting up and doing something. Okay, it doesn't just happen. It's not easy. On the other hand, well, it really is easy. It's time consuming. It did not take you a day and a half to get to where you are. It took you your entire life. Fortunately, with guidance, you can cut that time down immensely. The tools that I'm offering you are tools that it has taken me almost 58 years to get through. To get them to you, it's going to take me weeks, okay, or days, something like that. If you start implementing them right now, you will be amazed at the changes that take place for you. I started implementing them about 6 months ago, and because of the tools that I'm working with, like I started implementing all of the ones I'm talking about now, they're all in active use. And my life is so much different. I don't wake up all wound up and stressed. As a matter of fact, it's been really bizarre, come to think of it. I used to have nightmares every night. Okay, nightmares, night terrors, just I didn't rest. I still don't sleep very long. But I think it's been almost 2 weeks now since I've had a nightmare. That's really weird for me. But we are going to cut this short. I keep these down to the half-hour mark. So give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, okay, and absolutely take a look at the list of contact points below. If you've got questions, if you'd like to ask something, drop me a line at any one of them. I will do my best to get back to you. I've got a lot more videos coming out. Okay. Join me every day. I'm walking through this journey, and I'll walk it through with you. We will get you back on the track will get you on the track that is best for you. Your choice of what that track is. Okay. We will give you the tools to get there. But we do follow karmic law. Okay. In the meantime, until tomorrow, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sake, stay positive.